Douglas, was
Good
standing by the
morning, my
fireplace, swirling
preciouses.
a glass of scotch.
Kooky
He looked
Kelley
at me,
here.
gave a stiff
I've
nod,
already got
and
some
said, "Ava, you are
eyelashes
here. That is
on
good." And then there was Madison. My sister stood in the
from
center of the room,
AOA. I had to
commanding
use
the
2
space as she always
boxes
did.
to make
She
one
wore a
pair
red
because
velvet
when I
dress that was
used the
festive
first
yet
one,
modest.
it,
Her hair falling
the
in
lashes
perfect,
fell out of it.
glossy waves
So,
around her shoulders.
honey,
radiant.
I
She
only
looked
is
victorious
good.
upon
This
seeing
is
me.
not good.
She let
Ardell
out
is
a
not
breathy
good.
sigh, as if she
But
had been
I do
holding her
love
breath from sheer
Timu. They
worry.
so far are the
"Ava,"
best I've
she
ever
said,
tried.
rushing forward.
But
She wrapped her arms around me.
AOA,
It
if
was a
it wouldn't have fell
performance hug.
apart,
It was the kind
I
of
love
hug you
them.
give someone when you know
But it fell
people are
apart,
watching.
so
Light and brief,
I ain't gonna buy
ensuring
any
no
more
actual warmth is
because
transferred.
they fell
She pulled
apart.
back almost immediately, her hands lingering on my arms as she scanned my face with a look of practiced concern. "I am so glad you decided to come," she said, her voice pitched slightly higher than normal.
Okay, let's get
"We were
started
worried you might
with
bail.
Timu
You know how you get when
eye
things are
primer.
overwhelming." I stared at her.
I
am
washed
fine.
my brushes
Naturally.
yesterday
I would
too
not
that I've
miss
had
Christmas.
out.
She offered a tight, pitying smile, then
But
immediately
yeah.
pivoted away from me, dropping her hands as if touching me had been a chore. She reached out and grabbed the hand of the man standing behind her. "You remember Jason, right?" she asked, pulling him forward. "Jason Reed. I knew him mostly from Madison's social media feed, where he appeared as the devoted partner in endless photos of apple picking, wine tasting, and beach sunsets. In person, he looked like a decent man who was currently very uncomfortable. He worked for Frontier Link Freight, a logistics corporation, a fact my parents mentioned constantly because it sounded stable and corporate. "Hi, Ava," Jason said, offering a hand. "Good to see you." My parents beamed. The change in their demeanor was instantaneous. My father stepped forward, clapping Jason on the shoulder. "Jason was just telling us about the new distribution hub Frontier Link is
Okay,
opening in
now I'm
Nevada," my
gonna
father said, his voice booming
put
with
the lid
approval.
back on this
"Fascinating
first.
stuff. Real infrastructure.
I'm going
That is
to
the
use
kind of
this
work that keeps
meat
the
yum
country moving," Mom chimed in, handing Jason a
Timu.
napkin for his drink. "Madison
And
is
here's
so
its
lucky to
color
have someone
story.
with such a solid head on his shoulders. We
So
were just saying
pretty.
how rare that is these days."
Oh
They
my
stood there,
goodness. It's
the four of
mostly
them,
shimmers. There's
forming a
1,
tight,
2,
impenetrable unit
3,
of success
4,
and approval. I stood on the
5
periphery,
colors
clutching my bag. The
out of
dynamic was so familiar, it was almost
18.
boring.
5 colors
Madison was
that
the sun.
are
Jason was the planet she had captured to prove her gravitational pull.
matte.
And my parents were the worshipful
The rest are
astronomers.
shimmers.
I was the space debris floating aimlessly
So
in the dark.
yeah.
"Dinner will be in 20 minutes, Madison announced,
So
taking charge.
I don't know which
"But before
colors
we
I'm
sit
gonna
down to
use,
eat,
but y'all
we
know
need to
me.
handle the main event."
I'm
She
gonna go in
gestured toward the
this
sunroom at the back of the
touchstone
house. I looked
color right
past her
here.
shoulder. The
I'm gonna put
furniture in
it
the
up
sunroom,
top.
usually
Or
arranged
maybe
for
I should do the
casual reading or
yellow.
coffee, had been moved.
It's called
4
Venus.
armchairs and a love seat were arranged in a
Right
tight
there.
circle. On a small table in the center of the circle sat a box of tissues and a pitcher of water. It looked exactly like an interrogation room dressed up as a therapy session. My stomach tightened, but I forced my breathing to remain even. I knew this was coming. Madison had been hinting at it for weeks, sending cryptic texts about healing and fresh starts. "I think we should introduce Ava to our guest first," Mom said, her voice dropping to a whisper. A man stepped out from the hallway leading to the kitchen. He had been standing there quietly, observing us. He looked to be in his early 40s, dressed in a casual but expensive sweater and corduroys. He had the kind of face that was aggressively neutral calm, non-judgmental,
I love
and
corduroy.
professional.
Corduroy.
He held a notebook. "Ava, this is Rowan Hale," Madison said, her voice dripping with benevolence. "Rowan is a mediator from Evergreen Mediation and Family Services.
Okay, now I'm gonna go
I hired
in.
him to join us tonight." Rowan stepped forward and extended a hand. His grip was firm. "Hello,
With this,
Ava. I know having a stranger at Christmas dinner is unorthodox,
I think
but
this
Madison
color.
reached out to me because she
I
cares
don't
very
know.
deeply about the harmony of this family." I looked at Rowan. He had kind eyes,
Okay, this one.
but they were sharp. He was scanning me, looking for the cracks Madison had told him were there. He was looking for the instability, the anger, the defensiveness. I shook his hand. "Hello, Rowan. It is certainly a choice to spend your Christmas Eve working." He smiled politely. I believe that resolving conflict is the best gift a family can give one another. Madison stepped between us, placing a hand on Rowan's arm as if they were co-conspirators. Exactly. That is exactly why I brought him here. Look, Ava, I know this looks intense, but we cannot keep pretending everything is fine. We cannot have another holiday where we are walking on eggshells because of your situation, my situation, the vague, all-encompassing term she used to describe my entire existence. Mom nodded fervently. We just want you to be happy. Ava, we want you to be functional. Madison went to great lengths to arrange this. Evergreen
Okay,
mediation
now I'm
is
gonna
the
go
best
in
in the
with
state.
this
This is a
purple
safe
right
space.
here.
A safe space. The weaponized therapy language hung in the air. Let us go sit, Madison said, ushering us toward the circle of chairs. We can do the session before the turkey comes out. Better to get the hard work done so we can enjoy the meal with clear hearts. She guided us into the sunroom like a shepherd herding unruly sheep. Madison took the seat next to Jason.
And now I'm going to just do
interlacing
that
her
with my
fingers
finger
his.
because it
My
is a
parents
shimmer.
sat together on the love seat, looking solemn and righteous. Rowan took a single chair,
Oh, that's pretty.
opening his notebook.
Look at the difference
and
it
clicking a pen.
does when you do it
That
with your
left one
finger
chair.
too.
The chair directly opposite Madison, the seat of the accused. I
Oh,
walked
that's
over to it.
pretty.
I did not sit down
I
immediately.
think I want to do
I
that
placed my
purple
heavy
like
leather
that
bag on the
too.
floor beside the chair, making sure it stood upright. I unbuttoned my blazer and sat down,
Oh,
crossing
that's
my legs.
gorgeous.
I looked at the faces around me. My mother looked anxious but hopeful, as if she were about to witness an exorcism. My father looked stern, ready to enforce the rules. Jason looked at the
Y'all,
floor,
that's pretty.
clearly wishing he were anywhere else on the planet. And Madison looked at me with a mask of tragic love. But beneath it, I saw the gleam.
Greedy
She was
bitch.
enjoying this. She had set the stage, hired the director, and cast herself as the suffering saint. She believed that by the end of this hour, I would be crying, apologizing, and admitting that I was the failure she had always claimed I was. She thought she was about to cement her status as the savior of the Flores family. Rowan cleared his throat. Thank you all for being here, he began, his voice measured and soothing. Madison has shared with me some of the challenges this family has faced regarding communication and boundaries. Specifically, concerns about Ava's path and how it impacts the family dynamic. He looked at me. Ava, I want you to know that you are not on trial here. This is a facilitated dialogue. Madison's goal, as she stated to me, is to help you find stability so that you do not sabotage your future or your relationships with the people who love you. I kept my face blank. I did not roll my eyes. I did not sigh. I simply nodded. Madison leaned forward, her voice trembling slightly for effect.
I
Ava,
use this for
I
my
did this
brushes,
because I
y'all,
love you.
to
I hired
drown.
Rowan because I cannot watch you spiral anymore. The financial instability.
And
the
you
lies,
ready for
The
washing?
way you cut us out. It hurts Mom and Dad. I
That
just
is
want to help you
gorgeous.
fix it. I want to help you not ruin another Christmas. My mother sniffled
I think
loudly.
it leaves a little
We
bit
just
more
want our
over
daughter
here
back,
though.
she whispered. The narrative was being spun in real time. In their version of reality, I was the disaster. I was the one who needed an intervention. I was the problem file. I felt the cold leather of my bag against my ankle. Inside that bag was the truth.
Okay.
Inside that bag were 3 years of bank statements showing a 6-figure income.
Now,
Inside that bag was a contract with a major tech firm listing me as their lead consultant. Inside that bag were printed screenshots of text messages where Madison asked me for money, and emails where my mother told me I was an embarrassment. I had almost stayed home 2 days ago, when the invite came with its passive-aggressive demand for my presence. I had almost thrown my phone across the room and booked a flight to Mexico. I had almost let them win by default. But then I realized that simply leaving would only confirm their story. If I was not there, Madison could paint whatever picture she wanted. She could tell them I was ungrateful, crazy, lost. So I decided to come, but I did not come as the daughter they remembered. I did not come as the girl who cried in her room while Madison blew out the candles on the cake. I came as the CEO of my own life. I looked at Madison. She was squeezing Jason's hand, performing her distress perfectly. She thought she had trapped me. She She thought she had hired a referee to validate her fouls. Rowan looked at me, waiting for a reaction. Ava, do you have any initial thoughts before we ask Madison to share her specific concerns? I reached down and rested my hand on the handle of my bag. I felt the cool metal of the zipper. Actually, I said, my voice steady and clear, cutting through the humid tension of the room. I do. I looked directly at my sister. Her eyes flickered with a moment of confusion. She had expected tears. She had expected shouting. She had not expected this calm. Madison thinks she hired a judge to sentence me. I thought to myself, she believes she purchased a victory. She has no idea that the check she wrote to Evergreen Mediation just bought her a front row seat to her own exposure. Madison, I said aloud, smiling a smile that did not reach my eyes but showed plenty of teeth. I think this is a wonderful idea. Transparency is exactly what this family needs. In fact, I brought some materials to help us with that. I patted the bag. Madison's smile faltered for a fraction of a second. She did not know what was in the bag. She did not know that the mediator she paid for was ethically bound to consider all evidence presented. She did not know that the story she had been telling for a decade was about to collide with a paper trail.
Yeah,
She thought
that's
she
so
was directing
pretty.
a play. She never imagined that tonight. Her entire carefully staged life was going to be replayed for the audience. And this
I
time,
forgot to cut
I had
my
brought the
backlight
subtitles.
on.
To understand why I brought a folder of legal documents to a holiday dinner,
Okay,
you have
I'm
to
going to use
understand
this
the
as a
soil in which the
brightening.
Flores family tree
I
was
think this
planted.
is a
We
concealer.
lived
No,
in
it's...
Silver Ridge, a suburb that felt less like a neighborhood and more like a curated exhibit of the American dream.
is
It was a
a
place where the
concealer,
grass was not
but
just
I
green.
use it because it's...
It was a specific homeowner association mandated shade of emerald.
yeah, no.
It was a community of
The thing
two-story
fell off.
colonials and sprawling ranch houses,
So,
where every
yeah,
driveway
no.
boasted a freshly washed SUV.
That's kind of
and every
messed up,
mailbox
ain't
was
it?
free of rust. In Silver Ridge, success was
I
not a
need
private
another-
achievement. It was a public performance. If you were doing well,
Well,
you had to look like you were doing well,
here
or
we
else it
are.
did not count. My parents, Douglas and Karen,
I have another
were the
one.
quintessential curators
Hopefully
of this
this one
lifestyle.
works.
They did
It's
not just
from
live in the
Believe
house.
Beauty and it
They
broke
managed
off.
it like a brand.
The
And
little
like any
brush
good brand
sucks.
managers, they knew exactly which products to feature in the window display and which ones to keep in the stockroom. Madison was the flagship product. She was the golden child. A term I use not with bitterness, but with scientific accuracy. From the moment she could walk, she understood the assignment. She had the glossy blonde ringlets that bounced when she walked, the kind that strangers felt compelled to touch in the grocery store, while cooing about how angelic she looked. She had a smile that turned on like a halogen lamp, bright and blinding, obliterating any shadows in the room. Madison played soccer, not because she liked the sport, but because she looked good in the uniform and scored goals when the other parents were watching. She joined the student council, the choir, and the debate team. She was the center of every photograph, her chin tilted up, her eyes catching the light perfectly. I was different. I was the stock that did not move. I was dark-haired, quiet, and perpetually awkward in my own limbs, while Madison was practicing her smile in the mirror. I was in my bedroom, punched over a second-hand desktop computer I had salvaged from a garage sale. I was obsessed with the things that happened behind the scenes. I loved reading code, tinkering with pirated versions of photo editing software, and understanding how images were constructed. I found comfort in the digital world because it was logical. If something was broken, you could press undo. If a color was wrong, you could adjust the saturation. Real life in the Flores household did not offer such controls. My parents loved the idea of children, but specifically, they loved the idea of children who could be cited as evidence of their own parenting prowess. At church on Sundays, the dynamic was painfully clear. After the service, families would gather in the vestibule to drink stale coffee and trade accolades. My father
That's
would
pretty,
stand
huh?
with his chest puffed out, one hand resting proudly on Madison's shoulder. Madison got the solo in the Christmas pageant this year.
Hey,
He
now.
would announce, his voice carrying just loud enough for the deacon to hear.
Let me clean
She
this
is
stuff
singing
off.
"Oh Holy Night." The choir choir director says she has perfect pitch. The other adults would nod and smile.
Now
offering their
I'm going to
congratulations.
use, this is from
Madison is such a
TJ
natural,
Maxx.
they would say. She's going to go
It is
far.
a
She has that spark. I would be
bronzer and
standing 3 feet
blush and
away,
highlight.
usually examining the pattern of the carpet or sketching in a small notebook I kept hidden in my coat pocket. I was drawing the way the light hit the stained glass, breaking the scene down into geometric shapes and shadows.
Okay.
No one asked what I was drawing. No one asked if I had a solo, if someone happened to glance at
That's
me.
a light
My mother would
bronzer.
offer a quick, dismissive smile and say,
I'm
"And
gonna
this is
use
Ava.
this.
She is just quiet. She is in her own world." It was a polite way of saying I was a malfunction. The phrase hard to place was used often. Madison was easy to place. She belonged on a stage. I belonged in the background, preferably out of focus. The contrast was sharpest during the holidays.
It's just a bronzer.
Christmas in
Don't
Silver
say
Ridge
what
was a competitive
color.
sport, and the gifts were the trophies. I remember one specific Christmas morning when I was 14 and Madison was 16. We came downstairs in our matching pajamas. Another photo opportunity orchestrated by my mother to find the tree buried under a mountain of wrapping paper. Madison tore into her gifts with theatrical glee. That year, she received a brand new iPad and a high-end digital camera. "You have to stay ahead of the trends," my father said. Watching her turn the camera over in her hands, "That is top of the line. You can use it to document your trips with the debate club. We want you to have the best tools to connect with people." I sat on the carpet, holding a rectangular box that felt suspiciously soft. I peeled back the paper to reveal a set of flannel pajamas and a sturdy, sensible winter coat.
Oh my
It was a practical
gosh.
gift. It was a gift that said, "We want you to be warm," but it also said, "We do not expect you to do anything interesting."
Wow.
I looked at the camera in Madison's lap. I had been begging for a camera for 2 years. I had checked out every book on photography from the school library. I knew what aperture and ISO meant before I knew how to drive. "This is nice," I said, forcing a smile. "Thank you for the coat." My mother patted my knee. "We thought about getting you a gadget too." "Ava, but honestly, we know you get frustrated with technology. You are more of a simple soul.
Okay,
You
now
do
I'm
not
gonna
need all
use
those distractions." We
these
wanted to
two
get you
pink
something
ones
practical that you would
for
actually
blushes.
use. They had rewritten my reality to fit their narrative. In their minds, I was incompetent with technology. Despite being the only person in the house who knew how to reset the router or program the thermostat, giving Madison the camera was not just a gift, it was a statement. They believed she was the one worthy of capturing the world. I was merely meant to exist in it, warm and silent. This dynamic extended to discipline as well. In a house obsessed with perfection, accidents were treated as moral failings, but the distribution of blame was never equal. If a glass shattered in the kitchen, my mother would call out my name before she even entered the room.
Oh my god.
"What did you break
I
one
think
afternoon?"
I'm gonna use this blue
I came
one.
home from school to find my father staring at a scratch on the side of his car. He was red-faced with fury. "You were riding your bike too close to the driveway," he accused the moment I walked through the door.
Wow.
"Look at this. You scratched the paint." "I have not ridden my bike in 3 months," I said calmly. "It has a flat tire. It is hanging in the garage." He waved his hand, dismissing my defense. "Well, you probably dragged your backpack against it then. You are always so careless. Ava,
Oh
you
my
occupy
god.
space without thinking about the consequences."
Oh my god.
Madison would never be this clumsy. She respects our property. I found out weeks later that Madison had actually scraped the car while trying to park her own vehicle, a convertible my parents had helped her buy. She had told them it must have been a shopping cart at the mall. They believed her instantly. When the truth came out that the scratch paint matched her
Yeah, I
bumper,
think
they laughed it
gonna-
off at dinner.
Look at
"Oh,
these colors.
that Madison," my father chuckled, pouring wine. "She's
I think
just
I'm gonna
so
use
eager
this
to get places.
pink one
She has a lead foot,
right
just
here.
like her grandfather." The scratch that was a sign of my carelessness was transformed into a charming quirk when it belonged to Madison. I learned then that the truth did not matter in Silver Ridge. What mattered was who was telling the story. As I grew older, I learned to survive by making myself smaller. I stopped arguing. I stopped trying to prove I was innocent. I realized that if I stood outside the frame, I could not I became the family photographer. Not because I wanted to serve them, but because holding the camera in front of my face was a valid excuse to hide. Come on, Ava, take a picture of us, Madison would chirp, pulling our hands into a hug. I would take the camera, focus the lens, and
Now
watch them
let's
do
find
the
us a
funny.
purple.
In that small rectangle of glass, they looked perfect. They looked like the family they pretended to be. And I was safely on the other
Oh,
side.
which one? The light one or the dark one?
But there was one moment, one singular moment in my
I think
junior
the
year of
light
high
one.
school, where I forgot the rules. I let myself believe that merit would pierce the bubble of their indifference. I had entered a statewide design contest for a public service campaign about clean water. I spent weeks on the library computer, layering textures, choosing typography, and creating a poster that was stark, modern, and arresting. I did not tell anyone I was doing it. I wanted the victory to be mine alone. When the results were posted, my name was at the top of the list. First place. There was a cash prize of $500 and a gala where the winning designs would be displayed. I walked home that afternoon with the acceptance letter in my backpack, my heart hammering against my ribs. I felt a strange sensation I had never felt before home. I thought, surely, this is undeniable.
Okay.
This is not an opinion. This is an award. This proves
Let's
I'm doing
use
something. I walked into the kitchen.
the
My
map.
mother was chopping vegetables for a salad. My father was at the table, reading a business journal. Madison was painting her nails at the counter, talking about prom themes. I have something to show you, I said. I pulled the letter and the printed proof of my poster out of my bag. I laid them on the table in front of my father. I won the state design challenge, I said. My voice shook a little. Out of 3,000 entries, I won first place. My father looked down at the paper. He adjusted his reading glasses. He read the letter, then looked at the poster. It was a digital collage of a drying riverbed overlaid with bold, blue text.
Wow.
My mother wiped her hands on a towel and came over to look. Oh, she said. That is very dramatic. It is a design contest. I explained. It is supposed to be impactful. My father pushed the paper back toward me. It is certainly colorful. Ava. But you know, I was looking at your report card last week. Your chemistry grade is slipping. You have a B-. I won. Dad, I said, feeling the heat rise in my cheeks. Did you see the part about the prize $500? That is pocket change in the real world. Ava, he said, his voice dropping into the lecture tone I knew so well. Look, it is fine to have hobbies. Doodling is fine. But you cannot let this distract you from serious work. You are not going to make a living drawing pictures on a computer. People
What
do not pay for
asshole.
this. They pay for logistics. They pay for management.
Okay.
They pay for real skills. Madison looked up from her nails, blowing on the wet polish. Yeah, Ava,
This is
she added, do not be a starving artist. It is kind of a cliche. Besides, prom is coming up. Maybe
I
you
don't
can
know
use
what the
that
heck
prize
that
money to
says.
buy a dress that actually fits this year. My father nodded in agreement. Madison is right.
It's from
Be
Tina.
practical. Do not let this go to your head. We do not want you chasing pipe dreams and ending up with nothing. Now, clear this off the table. We need to set up for dinner. I stood there for a long minute. I looked at the poster I had poured my soul into. I looked at the letter that confirmed I had talent. And then I looked at my family, who saw only a distraction. They did not see the work. They did not see the achievement. They only saw something that did not fit into the script they had written for me. I
That's
picked up the papers.
pretty
I did
sorry.
not cry. I did not scream. I walked upstairs to my room, opened the drawer of my desk, and slid the award to
This
the
is
back,
a lip
underneath a
stain.
stack of old textbooks. That night, I sat
It's
in the
just
dark and
in
made a promise to myself. I promised that I would never again
number
bring
12
a picture to this
makeup.
house to be slaughtered. I
But
promised
I
that my
like it. Look
success
at
would
it.
belong to me
It's
and me
matte.
alone. In Silver Ridge, families are like perfectly composed photographs. Everyone
I
has
like
a
it a
place.
lot.
Everyone has a pose, and the
Let's
lighting
do
is
this and
always flattering.
setting
But
spray
if you
so
are
we
the
can.
person who does not fit the aesthetic,
It's
if
still
you are
got
the
some
shadow
in
the
it,
corner,
so
or the blur
not
on the
done
edge,
yet.
they do not try to adjust the focus to see you
But yeah,
clearly.
I like
They
it.
do not try to understand why you are different. They simply crop you out. And that night, at 17 years old, I realized that if they were going to crop me out of their picture,
Okay,
I was
y'all.
going to have to build a frame of my own.
This is it.
The divergence of our paths after high school was
Please
so sharp,
like.
it
Ooh,
felt like
my
a
hair.
physical tear in the fabric
Like.
of the family. For Madison,
How did that setting
world
spray
opened
get
up
on the
like a
back of my
grand set of
hair?
double doors.
That's
I was
crazy.
accepted into
Anyway,
Westmont
please
Harvard University,
subscribe to
private
my
liberal
channel.
arts
I
college in
appreciate you
California
watching. I
that
thank
cost
you.
more per semester
And
than
I
most people in
appreciate
this
all
country earn in
you
3
that
years.
left me comments
My parents
when
did not just pay for
I
tuition.
was
They invested in our
unstable, but
They
now
leased
I
our
am
brand new
better, and
compact
so is
SUV
he,
because
and
she
he
needed to be
might
safe on
get
the
to go
coastal
back to
highways.
work tomorrow.
They rented her a one-bedroom
He hasn't
apartment
been
off
to
campus
work
because
for a
the
bit,
dorms were deemed too
but he
distracting
might
for a
get
mind
to.
as
Depends
bright
on
as
how he
hers.
feels,
For me,
because he
the
still is
conversation was
feeling
shorter.
dizzy
It took place at the kitchen
and
table while my
sleepy,
father was
which
paying
that's
bills.
the pill
He
that he
told me
took
that
last
Rocky
night.
Valley
He hasn't
Community
taken one
College was a
today, so
sensible
they're
choice.
pretty damn powerful.
He said that given my
But
academic
anyway,
history,
thank
which was
you.
perfectly
I
average,
appreciate
and my
that
lack of
very
clear direction,
much. And I love
it would
you,
be
and you
foolish
know
to
that.
waste money on a university
You're
experience I
awesome.
might not appreciate.
You're a blessing.
He told me I needed to learn the value of $1.
Subscribe to my
While
channel.
Madison was
Please
driving
give me a
toward the
thumbs up
Pacific
if you
Ocean with a
like my
trunk full of new
channel.
clothes,
And I
I moved
appreciate
into a
all you
300-square-foot
folks,
studio
all you
apartment
beautiful
in a neighborhood
ladies
north of
subscribing
Denver
to my
that real
channel.
estate agents politely
Leave me a
described as
comment.
up and
I
coming.
love my
The building
comments,
was
and
a
yes,
brick
I do
block from the
answer every one of my
1970s that
comments
smelled
because it's
perpetually
important
of
to me
boiled
that
cabbage
you
and
took
stale
your
cigarette smoke.
time to
The heating
comment
system
for
was a
me.
radiator
That is
hummed
very
and
important.
banged throughout the
Okay.
night, singing
And
a
please share
metallic
my
lullaby
channel.
that kept me awake more
Please
often than
let
not. To pay for my rent
your
and my
family know
tuition,
about me, your
I
mom,
took
your
a job at
dad,
a
your
24-hour coffee
siblings,
shop
your
downtown.
grandparents, your
My
uncles,
shift
your
was the
aunts, your
graveyard
cousins,
rotation,
your best
from 10 at night
friends,
until
your
6 in the morning.
co-workers.
It was the shift nobody
Tell
wanted,
them to
which meant it was the only
share
one
my
available
channel
to
with all them
students
folks,
with no
okay?
experience. Those winters
I
were
love you
brutal.
guys. Look, this
I
is
remember
not on
walking
my
to the bus
teeth.
stop at 9:30 at night,
That
the
is
wind cutting through my
incredible.
coat, the snow
Okay.
crunching under my boots. I would spend
And
8
it's
hours
matte.
making cappuccinos
Look
for
at
tired
that.
paramedics,
I like it.
long-haul truckers,
Kooky Kelley
and
out.
students pulling all-nighters.
Bye,
My
y'all.
hands were always dry